All right. Well, Micah and I are here again to talk about the Israel trip that's coming up. We're hoping that those of you who are watching, I guess there's a lot of people watching, just remember you need to get signed up by the 21st. That's the day after Easter. And you get your deposits down. And so we're going to go start booking our airfares by the next day. So we're pretty excited about it. We talked last week about the beginning of this trip. Of course, we're taking vans on this trip. I always find that more exciting anyway.
Yeah.
And we got to kind of zigzag all over. And if there's some people want to go here, other ones want to go over here. That makes it easy for that kind of thing. So we talked last week, we're going to take off from Tel Aviv, stay there, Joppa, in the vision that Peter had and Cornelius had. We'll go to both ends of that on the first day and go on up to Mount Carmel and overlooking, and then drive down into the Jezreel Valley, which is Megiddo. And we'll try on that very first day to go ahead and see at Nazareth. The most incredible thing to see in Nazareth today is the precipice area where they tried to throw Jesus over off of there. And of course, the Bible says he just walked through the crowd and walked out of there because he was in absolute control. From there, we'll go on over. It's not too far over to Galilee. We made a decision last night that we're going to go ahead. We talked with some different people who are helping structure this trip. We're going to go ahead and spend 3 nights there. It just works out better because there's so much to see when you went there last time.
Yeah. I remember going there and just seeing the water and knowing that, wow, Jesus walked right here on the water. It's not just, it's just so much more than just a beautiful place. All the history there and everything that Jesus did there.
Yeah. So on our first day there, I'm trying to get us into North Guinnessar. Right now I can. So hopefully by the time we go ahead and book these things, we'll still be able to get that. It's right on the sea, and I kind of like it as a kibbutz. It's more than a hotel. It's got the grounds around it, and that's where the Jesus boat is, the museum right there. Well, from that day, when we get up our first day, we're going to head up north, and we'll go up to where Joshua fought the northern armies. They've dug all those ruins out. It's really cool there.
Yeah.
We're also going to go up to Tel Dan. That's where the first calf false worship under Jeroboam took place. And then on over, very close to that, is where the headwaters of the Jordan River are. They all come rushing out of the ground. It's pretty incredible to see. You missed it. You didn't get to see that last time.
Yeah, last year we didn't have the extra day, so we were shuffling to get there, and they were closing it down before we got there. So I was real sad. So this time we'll have the extra day. We'll be able to go, and we won't be missing that this time.
It's really cool to see. And then we'll go to Caesarea Philippi. It's all up in that area.
That was wonderful. I was really surprised on how all of the water in there and some of the different waterfalls and rivers and things that they have. And if you go way in the back of the area, that place is huge, and I had no idea.
Well, that's where they had all the false god worship there. And that's where Jesus says, well, who do you say that I am? And Peter makes the great confession, well, you are the Christ. And that's what takes place there. It's so fascinating. Then we'll come on back down to Galilee, and that's going to pretty much fill up the whole day. If I can find that place, the place that we ate last time was really cool up there. It was the best burger I think I had over anywhere up there. Then we'll spend the night there. Of course, we have the nice buffet dinners and breakfasts where we're at. And then the next day, we're going to stay in the area there, but very close to our hotel are 2 key things. Capernaum, which was basically the headquarters for Jesus.
Yeah.
So much ministry took place there. That's where Peter's house supposedly is the one that they have. And then right over from there is the mountain where the Beatitudes took place, where Jesus taught the masses of people. We'll also on that day take in a few more things. We'll go out on the lake with one of the boats that will show us what it was like out there cast the nets out there for us. And then later in the day, whatever else we do, later in the day, we're going to go over to the south end of Galilee, to a place that's called Yardenette, which Pastor Chuck had a part in building that whole baptismal site. But it's beautiful. It looks like you're in the bayou of Louisiana, big trees over you and catfish all around your feet. But we're going to baptize all those who want to be baptized there. It's just a really cool place. That way we'll be able to go back after that and clean up, and then we'll have dinner at our hotel, our kibbutz, hopefully.
Yeah, it's such a rich area, that whole area, seeing the Peter's, and there's a temple there, all of the ruins. and seeing where Jesus, knowing that was the headquarters, that this was where a lot of it happened, where, Matthew 5, 6, 7, it was all, we can go to the place where it's like, oh man,
you stand up there and preach, Micah. You
yeah.
could, give the Beatitudes, read them out there, and see if 5,000, 10,000 people can hear you.
Well, there's a lot of people there when we were there. And it's just such a rich area to see the Bible come to life, to see where Jesus walked and where he taught. And
I think so.
Yeah.
I think this would be my 8th time going over there, but coming back was actually 20 years ago. Well, it's 20 years ago this month that we went to Israel the first time. I saw the Bible change from black and white to Technicolor, because every place I would read down the Bible, I could see where that was. That's what's so great about it. So we're going to get to see those things. So we're going to spend 3 nights in Galilee, and then we'll get up that following morning. And we've shifted up a little bit. Often we go to Gideon Springs, but we're probably not going to do it just for time's sake. We're going to probably move on down the road and get down south. We'll go by the Corman Caves, and we'll stop at Gilgal, where Joshua brought all the people across. You'll be able to see the mountain across the way where Moses is buried. And supposedly there's this monster tree out there. They're saying that's where struck the rock and water came from it. And if that's the case, but you'll see all of that. And this is where they, 2 million people or more would come across. They would make the memorial stones. They would stand there. God would meet Joshua at the edge of the camp. And then they would go in and they'd do a Jericho, which is just 5 miles around the corner. They would walk it every day. And we probably won't go in there, but that's just an exciting area just to know what took place there.
Yeah. Israel is so rich just with history and what God has done. I love that story with the memorial stones. And
in and out of the river, both two different sets.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful story, and to be there and to know and to be able to see, looking at a mountain where you're like, man, somewhere on that mountain
Moses is buried.
Yeah, where Moses. Yeah, it's like, oh my goodness, it brings it to life.
It really does. We're at the top edge of the Dead Sea when we go there. So as we drive again south, another 5 miles, Jericho will be on our right. We probably won't go in there, although I'll explain next week when we go about the possibility of Bethlehem and Jericho for those who want to go. But we're going to go ahead and go past it down to En-Gedi. And that's, of course, one of your favorite places.
Yes. Oh, man. I remember the first time I went to En-Gedi, and we were going through some of the water areas and like this little mini tunnel for a little bit. And we come out, and I'm thinking, is this it? Like, there's like a little, couple rocks that we climbed up. I'm like, this can't fit an army. What's up here? And finally, I see all the signs, and it's like a mile hike up here. And so I ended up going with another buddy, and we got to the cave where there's one cave up there, and we found it. And
where David and his men were hiding from Saul. Saul actually goes up there to try to use the restroom in one of the caves, and they're all just being really quiet during that time. Great story. It's beautiful. There's no water anywhere around except for the Dead Sea, which is undrinkable. But this is pure, beautiful water that comes out of there. Then down the road from there, which we won't stop that day, is Masada on our way just before we get to where we're going to stay in the lower part of the Dead Sea where our hotels are. And there's going to be that option. The trip is going to cost roughly $2,700. We're just finding the exact figures but kind of budget for that. But some people will want to go ahead and spend a little bit more and take an option, which we have to arrange ahead of time. But while we're at the Dead Sea for 2 nights, the next day, some of us will go to Masada and then go float in the Dead Sea for the day and just relax a little bit. Other ones want to go to Petra. And Petra is across in Jordan, but they have to go south to Eilat, cross over, and then go back up to Petra and coming back home. It's an all-day thing by the time you get done. But it's usually about $300 to do that. But it's, of course, Petra is one of the wonders of the world. Yeah. And the ruins are, been seen in Indiana Jones, the one with Sean Connery or whatever one that was called. But they show the Sikh that you come across to this canyon, you see the Sikh. Well, it was at one time it had those all throughout there. There's just a few places that are like that now. The rest of them, the facing is deteriorated over all the years. But this is, I believe, what the Bible calls the rock in the Old Testament, and they will flee to the rock because Petra means rock. Of course, Peter's name is, means rock. and they're going to flee there from the Antichrist and his armies. And you can again hide so many people. They say those caves will hide 1 million people.
That's
So many
insane.
Jews who flee are going to flee out to the rock. Um, so it's everybody who's ever gone to Petra says, "Wow!" It kind of wows you. And then they'll come back that night and they'll join with us. And then the next morning we'll take off, and we're gonna. I'll talk about this more next week. But we're going to go to Jerusalem. But we're going to go this time a way that I have not gone in 17 years. We're going to go from the Dead Sea. We have a chance to just simply go west out of there. We go west until we get to Beersheba. It's a little over an hour away. Mm-hmm. They have a place where Abraham's well is, and they have a museum there. And from there, when we leave there, we're going to head up north toward Jerusalem. And about 45 minutes, we'll come to the Valley of Elah. And that's where David fought Goliath. Mm-hmm. And if you're watching the House of David series, which we'll be showing starting Sunday night, the House of David series, it's all about that famous battle. And Donna's got little pouches she's bringing for everybody if they want to grab 5 stones from that riverbed and take them home. They can do that.
You think I could bring the giant's head?
Well, go if you could find it. Give me the helmet. You can have the head. In fact, I think the series that's been on has had a very good, I think, biblical explanation. They missed one point of it, which we won't talk about now, but I do believe that Goliath was Nephilim, and the result of fallen angels, as it talks about in Genesis 6. But they portray it very well. They portray their destruction very well too. But at any rate, we'll do that. From there, we'll wind up in Jerusalem. We'll spend the rest of our trip, 3 nights probably in Jerusalem, and we'll go take in all the sites that are there. There's so many of them to see. Spend a lot of time in the old city. That's more. I want to do that more than anything else when I get up there. So, but it's going to be a great trip.
Yeah, I'm excited. I cannot wait. I wish the trip was tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. It's how far away is it? September 20th roughly is where we're going to go. It's at about 6 months from here. So. Yeah, me too. I wish we were going tomorrow too, but you can't go in the summer because it's just too hot. Yeah. It's kind of like Palm Springs in the summer. But when we are going to go, it's kind of like it is right now. It's you're talking about maybe 80, somewhere between 80 and 90, just depending on the day.
It's perfect weather.
California weather.
Here, yeah, like when we go to the Sea of Galilee, when we went, I mean, it was just absolutely perfect. Barely any clouds, if any. Like just a gorgeous day outside, nice, and
I don't think we had no rain or
no. And it's funny to think, like with the Sea of Galilee, like modern day, those like some of the storms there are known to break concrete walls that are thick.
And you could see that destruction down in Tiberias and some of the walls. They show pictures of the damage that in more recent times has taken place there by these furious storms.
And we always read the story with the disciples, and they're the crybabies in the boat coming to Jesus. And
well,
it's like,
I've seen those storms.
If you were there,
I'd have a crybaby too.
Yeah.
No, it was. It's really fascinating to see, isn't it?
Yeah. It puts it into perspective. You don't. When you first read the Bible, you think, man, these disciples don't learn anything. And then when you're faced with a life-threatening storm, like a lot of storms going on right now, and it's like when you're faced with that, how do you react? And
have faith. Jesus taught us that in that situation. Why don't you have faith about this? I think it's neat. I think I encourage everybody to start thinking about those sites, and if you're going to go on this trip, start reading on them. We're going to have a meeting beforehand, probably a month before we go. Mm-hmm. We'll have everybody come that's going to go. We're going to have a little booklet where you can write different, take notes and whatnot. If you want, but also we'll have information on those places with the scripture passages that are key to events that took place there. That way you could, even along the trip, even the evening before, you can just sit down and read a little bit, say, oh yeah, okay, this is what's going to take place here. And it'll help you. And then from then on, I guarantee you, for the rest of your life, when you read that passage, you'll see, I know where that's at.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can see it. I can see that hill. Oh yeah, that was a lot longer trek, like you're going up to Engedi. Oh man, it's another mile uphill, But that you'll see it differently because of that. But you'll learn the lessons too. We'll have our guys teach throughout the process. That'll be great. And the food is wonderful.
Yeah.
What's really cool, people say, well, I like the food in Israel. Well, we have buffets in the morning and evening. And you can try anything. Try their Israeli food, and you say, oh, I hate this. Well, then go back and get some American food. They've got that too. They have it all there. They're very accommodating, very gracious.
There's a few spots in Jerusalem too where the more like Arab quarters and stuff where they have hamburgers and you can get cheese on them.
Yeah, I was going to say, you guys found the cheeseburgers over there. You won't find it in an Israeli place.
It's tough to find, but you got to know where to look.
We found one a few years ago. I said, oh, yeah. I went and told some of the other folks that we had some other churches with us on that one. And they said, really? They went over there. Everybody got their cheeseburger hookup in Jerusalem, of all places.
And for ice, too.
Prices are higher.
Ice.
Oh, ice. You can get ice over there, yeah. Prices are higher over there, but you're really just dealing with lunches and whatnot. So we'll talk about Jerusalem next week, but I can't wait to go either.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking about going, pray about it. You've got till, I think, was it a week from Monday is the 21st, to call us, let us know. You have to get a deposit in of $1,000. That'll help pay, because we're going to go and book airfares. And we're going to do that. We're charging just what it cost. You don't pay for us to go or anything. We're all paying for our own. But we want to get it as cheap as we possibly can, and still, the places we're staying in are nice. So I'm looking forward to that. But just by doing it the way we do it, we typically save people about $2,000 a piece, and I like it. It makes it possible not only to go, but a lot of our people just have gone back, and I like that. So when you go, probably you will want to go back.
Yeah,
I think
you're able to. If it was a $5,000 trip, $7,000 trip, it would be like, okay, once in a lifetime kind of thing for most people. And when it's only $2,700, it's like, hey, I could afford if I save and get the pennies going again the next couple of years, next 5 years or something. You can go back again, and it just totally changes how you read the Word.
It really does. It's kind of neat. Don and I'll be able to go for $5,400 roughly, and I like that. I mean that's if you got to go anywhere in the world, the two of you, it's going to cost you that anyway. But to go to a place that's more than a vacation place, more than a scenic, it's deeper than that, so much deeper than that. So
we'll have time to relax too. The Dead Sea will be floating.
Well, and most of our hotels have pools and spas as well. I mean, we're not there a lot, but you got the evenings or you got the later afternoons or whatever you want to do. When you're in Jerusalem, especially, we have places we're going to go to. If you don't want to, if you're exhausted, kick back. You do what you want to do. Go, walk around Jerusalem, the old city for a little while, and go back and get in the pool, go take a nap. Do whatever you want to do. For me, I don't want to miss anything. That's the way I am. I thought, well, I didn't come all the way over here to be in a jacuzzi. If I find an appropriate time, great. But everybody needs to go sit in the Dead Sea.
Yes.
Because it's the high salt content. I think it's 30%. High salt content, you cannot sink. You can sit in the water. You could actually sit up and read a book sitting in the water.
It's unreal.
It really is.
I've never been able to really float in water, so I was like, there's no way I'm not. And you cannot drown.
I like
there's no way.
I'll kind of close it with this. One of our guys who's been over there with us is Terry Growski, and he's got some neuropathy issues from the war, from Vietnam War, in his legs, and so it makes it kind of hard, and he didn't know if he'd be able to do it. We got him in the water. He was the best. We just lay him on his back and float him out. Should have had a little flag for him, But then he goes, we're struggling like weebles trying to sit up sometimes, and to get up on our feet. It just worked out perfect for him. So it was like, oh, that's a little bit like heaven. Like he got his legs back, for full usage. And that was kind of cool for him. So we had a blast just taking him in the water with us. It's a lot of fun. So if you're thinking about going, be sure and let us know. Give us a call here at the office at 951-927-6880 and let us know, and they give you more details. You can also go on our website, ccvalvista.com, and there's a link. We had an entire Israel meeting, which you can watch that, and then make contact with us, because if you come in later, we can't really take you in because we're going to have already booked our plane tickets. Okay, so we'll see you there, hopefully.